go over Bellwork week 14, day 2 here. What causes ocean tides? So continuing to explore that. So I'm going to go ahead and read through the first paragraph and then move on to the second paragraph for you guys. So first paragraph, to understand the effect of gravity on ocean tides, the first thing to remember is that every object with mass exerts gravitational force. Simply put, the moon has mass, so its gravity pulls on Earth. Earth's oceans respond to the tug of the moon by bulging up toward it. This bulge is what we experience as high tide. The bulge actually forms on both sides of Earth, one directly under the moon and one on the opposite side. In between the bulges, the ocean dips. These dips are the low tides. As Earth rotates, the giant bulges in the moon move so that one bulge always stays directly under the moon, while the other stays on the opposite side. You may think of the tide as a giant wave that follows the moon across the ocean. In one 24-hour period, 2 high tides and 2 low tides sweep across the planet. Alright, so in part A, it wants us to write an H next to the city experiencing high tide and L next to the city experiencing low tide. So where there's those where it bows out, those are the high tides. And remember, in the middle, right, is where that ocean dips, so that's where there would be a low tide. Okay, so if we have Honolulu over here, as you can see, we're bowed out over here, so that would be a high tide. And then Miami, as you see in the middle, because there aren't any of these waves kind of going out this way, as you see it's bowed out over here, bowed out over here, but in the middle where the ocean dips, during this time that would be a low tide. Now there are times during the day where Honolulu experiences low tides and Miami would experience high tides, but not in this case, because remember what it says at the end of this passage: in one 24-hour period, 2 high tides and 2 low tides sweep across the planet. So each location, Honolulu and Miami, would experience 2 high tides as well as 2 low tides during the day. Part B, answer the questions. Well, number 1, we kind of just answered that. How many high tides does the planet experience each day? That would be 2. You can refer back to that last sentence in the passage for that. And then, if the moon had more mass, what effect do you think this would have on Earth's tides? Explain what would happen with bulges and dips in the ocean. Well, if the moon had more mass, that means it would have more of a gravitational force. So if it has a greater gravitational force, it's going to just have a greater pull on Earth, which is going to create higher high tides and lower low tides. So you could say something like the tides would be even more exaggerated with higher high tides and lower low tides. There you have it, guys. There's your Science Bellwork week 14, day 2. Make sure you watch the video and make corrections if you need to. Hope you guys have a good day.